welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video that I'm not exactly sure that I particularly like. I'll explain that. So I'm doing a favourites video, all my favourite books. And because I haven't done one of these before, I thought I'd do basically a history of my favourites, starting from when I first started reading up until now. What are my favourite books now? And all of these books, even the ones that I don't really like, that aren't my favourites anymore, you know, they still have a place in your heart because they got you into reading and they just opened your eyes to the world that is reading, and it's amazing. I love these books still. But it comes with this sort of video and this sort of declaration, you're declaring your favourite books, that these are your favourite books. And I feel like every time I read a new book, or every time I read a new good book, my mind changes. I have a new favourite book. Favourites change so much. They change with what mood you're in, they change with what year it is, they change with what you've read, they change with so much. So I'm like, well, I don't know, but these are my favourite books. They're my favourite books right up till I started reading, right until now. And they are going to change as I read more books, as I'm sure they will, because I know some of the books I have on my shelf right now are going to be favourites, because there are some amazing books on my shelf that I just have not read yet, and I'm so excited for them. Anyway, let's get on with this. When I first started reading, back when I was 10, 11, 12, these books were just starting to become amazingly popular, and I loved them. My mum, she loved them too, and she was the one that actually got me into it. I loved it. Anyway, this series is Harry Potter. Of course, how could you have a childhood where you grew up in the 90s or were around this age that you did not read and love Harry Potter? I remember I was reading it around about my 11th birthday, and at that point I'm like, oh my god, is my letter gonna come? Am I gonna be accepted into Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry? Please let my letter come. I really want to go there. I love this. This changed my life. My whole perspective on reading, everything about this book was amazing. The next book that I read when I was about 14, 15, and I loved it. This changed my life. Not necessarily for the better, I must say. It was actually quite bad how it changed me. I feel like it had not such a good effect on my life, but I adored this series. It was amazing. Like, I felt like I got on the bandwagon fairly early, and I read it before all the hype came out about it, and I actually got a couple of my best friends onto this book and we all got obsessed with it. That was fun. It was so much fun. I loved it at the time. Looking back on it, I'm like, oh my god, Courtney, why? It wasn't even that good. I mean, it was good, but why? Anyway, that book, of course, is Twilight. This is my original copy that I marked in to show how many times I've read it. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks in it, but I know I read it more times than that, and it is so busted. I mean, look at that. It's fraying at the cover, it's fraying here. Oh my god, this is a well-loved book, and I haven't read it in so long. I actually kind of want to read it again, just to see what my adult self thinks about it. It'd be interesting to know the difference. I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to film a previous me review of this, 14, 15-year-old review, and then cut forward to a review of it having read it now. I kind of want to do that. Would that be interesting, do you think? I'm not sure. Comment below. Tell me whether you like that. Yes, this changed my life. It made me want to find my soulmate, my Edward. From about 14 till about 17, 18, he was my book boyfriend. Yep, I would not talk to any other boys because Edward, which was bad looking back upon it, because I had no life. I had no social life outside of books and my 2 friends. So that's why I think this had a bit of a bad effect on my life, because I did not go out very much as a teenager. But that's okay. I had Edward, I had Twilight, and I loved it. This is a book that I absolutely love. Can't remember when the first time I read it was. I feel like it might have been around 17, 18, but I really did love it. I adored it. This book made me just ache inside. But you know, books have that effect on us. I mean, I wanted so bad what this main character had, and she was a kick-ass main character. She was awesome, and the books just kept on getting better from the first one right through to the last one. It was so much better. Amazing transformation, amazing character development, and everything that I wanted to happen in this series happened. Now, there are some series, you know, that just end badly, and you're like, no, I don't like that. I cannot cope with that. That you cannot be my favorite now that you've ended like that. This series ended perfectly. There's only one little niggly bit that I did not like, and it made me a little bit like, I wish that didn't happen. But anyway, I understand why the author did it and why that happened, so it's fine. This book is Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead. This is the graphic novel version, and I am so excited to reread it. But it is so good. Look at all those pretty pictures. I can't wait to get to the third book with that cabin scene. That will be good. I loved this book. After reading Twilight, I was just like, you know, I want more vampires, so Vampire Academy. And Dimitri became my next book boyfriend. I loved him. Wanted so badly the relationship that he and Rose had. Loved how we call her Rosa. That was so sweet. I loved this book so much, and it just kept getting better. Like the sixth one, I was so glad that it ended the way it did, and I loved it. This next series is one that follows on from the Vampire Academy, and I loved it so much, even more than Vampire Academy. I think I like this one even more. Anyway, this is Bloodlines. Absolutely loved this series. I loved it because I think Sydney, the character, is a lot more relatable. Rose is this powerful, physically fit, physically energetic, and physically powerful woman, whereas Sydney is more of a mentally powerful person, which I can relate to more. And the fact that she's an intellect, that she reads, that makes her more relatable to me. Well, the funny thing is, in the Vampire Academy, I'm like, no, Adrian, nope. This one, I'm like, Adrian all the way. It's amazing. This one is so sweet. I think it's just the way that the author portrays the characters through the narrator or the main character's eyes. So I find that through this one, I liked him a lot more because I knew him better and I knew him more, which is so good. I loved this series. It was amazing. This series of books and series by the same author got me through a really hard time in my life, and I really loved them. They were so much fun to read. They were amazing. That series is Percy Jackson. Is it just called the Percy Jackson series? I must be having it, yeah, it's just called the Percy Jackson series. Unless I'm having a real brain meltdown. I think it is. Wow. Anyway, these ones I loved, and it was so amazing. When I read these, I was actually living in New York, funnily enough. But yeah, I really loved them, along with the Red Pyramid series. I loved that one. I actually kind of like that one better in a way because I like the Egyptian gods better and the whole idea of them. I loved it. One of my favorite book series authors ever. Another one that I love and that kind of just took my heart because it's so amazing is Shadowhunters, of course. Shadowhunters. I love Shadowhunters. It is the Mortal Instrument series. They were incredible. Incredible. I loved them so much. All the feels that they gave you, they were so good. I should reread them. I haven't read them in so long, like in a couple years now. And included in the classic layer is Lady Midnight from the Dark Artifices. Loved this book so much. It's so big. Like, look how much that is. Amazing. I loved it. I loved this book. Oh, some things in it I found just so so different from other YA novels, but it was really good. I really like this. And I need to reread it so I can remember it. I should have reread it before Lord of Shadows came out so I could continue straight on with Lord of Shadows. So I feel like I need to do that before I start next book in the series that has just come out. I need to reread the previous one so I remember and I can get back into the world. Amazing. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. You can't have a favourites book haul without Cassie Clare. The next books I have to show you, I read quite recently-ish, in the past year anyway. I think I started the first one in maybe December last year and I finished the second one January this year. Yeah, but they are Illuminae and Gemina. Absolutely loved these books. Loved them to death. Oh my god. These are really big books. They are so hard to hold up. I need two hands. They're so thick. I mean, look how big they both are. They're amazing. Especially if you haven't read them, they've got such cool writing style. They go black and, oh, and like they have things like this in there and spirals. And it's just awesome. And like, look at that. Awesome. Yeah, this is a sci-fi novel. So good. Loved it. And I love the second one too. Gemina. So good. I love that the second one, it doesn't follow the same characters as Illuminae, but it is on the same lines. It's sort of like a companion novel, so the same time that Illuminae is happening, Gemina is happening. And I know people are like, oh, I don't like that because I want the series to continue, but I'm pretty sure it will in the next one because it's such a different writing style. It doesn't have from their head, it has, you know, diary entries and communication logs and official documents and video transcripts and things like that. That makes it so much different and you're able to switch between the characters so much easier. I love that this one had like the, what's it called? Kind of, you know, it had a more technical thing about wormholes and things like that. But yeah, I loved this series so much that it has to be my favorite. Loved it. And now my final series that is in my favorites book pile because I just love it so much. It's one of the best book series that I have ever read. One of the best world building, the best character development, the best romance. I loved it so much. That series is The Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. We have A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin that just came out this month. Amazing. These books, they captured my heart so badly. This one, I only read this one because I knew that A Court of Mist and Fury was coming out soon, so I'm like, you know what, we'll read this one so we can pick up this one straight away when it comes out, which was a good way to do it because this one, it was good, but you know, it wasn't like a heart and soul capturing and, oh, I'm gonna die if anything bad happens to these characters type of thing. It was more of a, oh yeah, that was a good book. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next, see where things go. Don't really care as much as I could for the characters, but I do like it. Then comes this bad boy. This one just hits you in the feels so bad. If you read it, you know what I mean. But yeah, this one is so good. I love the relationship development in this one. I loved it. And then came this one. Not so much of the relationship building because it was already built in the other one. Lots of scheming, which is so much fun. I love scheming in books. It just makes me giggle, like chuckle really evilly to myself. I'm like, yeah, I know, I see what you're doing there. Yeah, good job. Loved it. Loved the way it ended too. Really, really, really good ending. Can't wait till the companion novels come out. So good. Alright, well that was all of my favorite books from when I first started reading that have stuck with me through the years. All of my favorite books. Love them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It has been lots of fun filming and talking about all of my favorite books. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and to subscribe for more videos. I will see you next time. Bye!